Hey guys, my name is JSmooth and welcome to a comparison video between the Hitbox Arcade Stick and DualShock 3 pad. Um, if you've seen any of my videos before, you'll know that I play a lot of Tekken and I post online ranked sessions on my channel. Now, anybody who plays fighting games knows what these controllers are and why they're important. With that said, I'm going to compare how easy or difficult it is for me to perform advanced movement techniques and just frames on each of these controllers in Tekken. So like just frames like Electric's, Hwoarang's Skyrocket, or Heihachi's OTGF. And just remember that at the end of the day, this is all personal preference. So whereas I might prefer one controller to the other, somebody else might prefer a different controller. So say at the moment I prefer playing on a pad because that's what I've used all my life, and I've only recently gotten the hitbox and the stick. Whereas someone like JDCR, he prefers a Korean stick. So, with that said, let's just jump straight into the video.
Okay, so this is the format I'm going to do it in. I'm going to go from pad to stick to hitbox, and I'm going to do Korean backdash, wave dash on the player 1 side, Korean backdash, wave dash on the player 2 side, then electric on the player 1 side, electric on the player 2 side, and then Heihachi's OTGF on the player 1 side and on the player 2 side. Okay, so this is the wave dash consistency I can get on the player 1 side with a pad. Okay, you see how I stop and start, and then I finally get into a rhythm, and then get decently fast. Not, like I said, I'm not the best player, and I can get okay wave dashes. Okay, now for backdash, or Korean backdash. So this is like the same as wave dashing, but going backwards. And it's pretty easy on a pad, and pretty consistent as well. So let's try it. Okay, so it's pretty consistent, pretty quick. There was a little bit where I messed up, but yeah, it's okay. It's not too bad. Pad is good once you get used to it, and you can move your thumb that quick. Okay, so this is the player 2 side wave dash. And again. And now the player 2 side backdash. Okay, so for me, it's slightly harder on the player 2 side, especially for the backdash, because pushing away from your body with your thumb is harder than pulling it inwards, if that makes sense. What I'm going to do is start from back here, and then count how many successful electrics there are on the way towards the second player. Okay. Okay, so I did about 3 out of 6 there. Okay, so I got 2 out of 3 OTGFs there, which is not too bad. Okay, now we're on the player 2 side. I'm going to do some electrics and again count how many I get successfully out of on the way towards Heihachi. Okay, so again 3 out of 6, which is not great, but not good either. Not bad either. Now for Heihachi's OTGF. Okay, again 2 out of 3, not too bad. And now let's move on to the stick. Okay, so this is the arcade stick now. I'm going to do wave dash, then backdash, wave dash and backdash, then electric, and just OTGF, electric OTGF. So this is the wave dash, if I can actually perform it on a stick. Oh. Okay, so it looks like I can't even crouch dash. Okay, so personally I don't really like the stick because I find it very difficult to wave dash, and I can just about backdash on the stick, and yeah, it's unpleasant. Okay, so now I'm going to wave dash on the player 2 side. Oop. So that's like the slowest wave dash ever, and I'm so bad with the stick. And now I'm going to attempt to backdash. So here we go. Okay, so that was my very poor attempt at backdashing, but it's more successful than wave dashing on the player 1 side, which is essentially the same inputs, which is annoying. But as you remember, on the player 1 side, I couldn't wave dash at all. Like, I didn't get a single successful wave dash, but on the player 2 side, I could backdash. So it's a lot easier on the stick on the player 2 side for movement wise in Tekken, in my opinion. So now we're going to go over back to the player 1 side and do some just frames. Okay, now I'm going to try and attempt an electric with Kazuya. So again, counting how many successful electrics are on the way to Heihachi until I hit him. So let's go. 1. Oh. 2. So 2 out of 6, I think. Electrics. Okay, now we're going to see how many OTGFs we can do with Heihachi. 0 on the player 1 side. Okay, so we're going to see how many electrics we can do. Okay, so 1 with the stick, and OTGF. Okay, again 0. So yeah, like I said earlier, I prefer pad over stick, just because I'm so much more consistent with the pad, with movement, wave dashing and backdashing on both sides, and electrics and OTGFs on both sides as well. So let's move on to the hitbox. Okay, so now we're going to do backdash and wave dash with the hitbox. Now it's slightly different because the hitbox has 4 directional buttons in the same layout as a stick, like X, square, triangle and circle on a stick has the same button layout for the directional buttons on a hitbox. So you're pressing buttons instead of moving a stick, which is weird. But it makes sense because I'm about to show you why. So now if I wave dash, it's very, very quick. As you can see, it's a hell of a lot faster than wave dashing on a pad and a stick. And now for backdash. So I don't know if you could tell, but I was actually Korean backdashing there, but it was so ridiculously fast that he was moving back very, very, very slowly. As you know, like the quicker you do a wave dash or a back dash, you don't move forward or back as quick as when you do, say, like one like that or like that. But if you do it like that, then you don't move forward as quickly. Electric with Kazuya, again, consistency from until I hit Heihachi. Okay, so I got about 2 out of 6 there. Okay, now the OTGF with Heihachi. Okay, not even close. Now I'm going to do all of them on the player 2 side. Okay, so now for the wave dash on the player 2 side. Okay, so not as easy on the player 1 side, purely because you're pressing buttons with different fingers. And like you're pressing with your ring finger and middle finger instead of your index finger and middle finger. And it's a lot harder that way because you're not used to using your ring finger like you do your index finger. So now I'm going to backdash. Okay, so same on the player 1 side, it's extremely easy to backdash with the hitbox. And now I'm going to do electrics with Kazuya until I hit Heihachi for consistency. Okay, so 1 out of 6 there, which isn't very consistent. And now the OTGF with Heihachi. Okay, so 0 out of 3, 4, whatever it was. So, in conclusion, in my opinion, the pad is the most consistent with just frames and movement on both the player 1 side and player 2 side. Just because for me I've been using it for so much longer. Like I've had the Hitbox not even a week. I literally only got it on the 11th or something like that, the 11th of January, and this is going to be uploaded on the 16th or 15th of January, depending on when I actually finish editing and uploading it. And the stick I've had about 6 or 7 months, but with the stick, I bought it, tested it out for a couple of days, and then just shoved it in my cupboard and left it there to rot because I really don't like using the stick. It doesn't feel right to me, and I prefer using the pad. But the Hitbox is showing some promise, and I'm continuing to train with that as well as using the pad, but not quite as good with the Hitbox as what I am with the pad. So please remember that it's all personal preference, and what I prefer isn't necessarily what somebody else prefers. And just, you know, try each controller out for yourself if you want to get better at Tekken or any fighting game for that matter, because, you know, say for Street Fighter you can do 360s and 720s with Zangief super easy on the Hitbox, nearly impossible on the pad, and you know you can do it on the stick, but you need to be really, really quick, and it's so hard. So yeah, try it with different games. Try it with Tekken. See which one you prefer. Hopefully this video helps you decide on which one to use, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.